All right, it's 8 o'clock, so let's go ahead and call this Brimfield Township Board of Trustees meeting to get to order at 8 a.m. on December 16th. Roll call, John.
All those in attendance, Mike?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
We have a full board.
All right, we will forego the Pledge of Allegiance because of the virtual meeting. However, we will have a moment of silence for prayer and meditation. Okay, announcements or correspondences. We'll start with you, Sue. Do you have any announcements or correspondences?
No, I don't.
Okay. Mike, announcements or correspondences?
I'm good, Nick. Thank you.
All right. I have two pieces. The first is a correspondence from a resident. There is some changes happening with how they are going to measure our electricity in the township. It's across the county. They are putting in these new devices in everyone's house to virtually basically capture your usage data and send that over Wi-Fi. He sent me several videos and had a lengthy conversation with me about that and has some concerns with these devices being attached to his house. We as a township don't control the electricity, so there's not much we can do about that other than it's 5G technology, and he wanted to know what we were doing about the 5G technology. He has concerns about the microwaves in his house and the health effects of those. He called the electricity department to see if he could have the device removed. And they said, sure, but we're going to charge you $30 a month for us to come out and manually measure your electricity. So he just wanted that brought to the township's attention to see what we were doing with the 5G cell towers in our community. And Mike Ladd, I know that we were looking at some things from a zoning standpoint with the 5G bigger towers. I didn't know if we had any updates on that.
Yeah, so brought it up to the zoning commission along with regional planning, and regional planning was working on, from the suggestions of the Ohio Township Association, they were going to come up with a uniform standard for the whole county when it comes to 5G and then present it, and then we would pass it through our amendment procedure.
Okay. All right, so we have some pieces moving on that, but I wanted to bring that correspondence forward because he wanted that brought up today. The second piece I want to talk about is kind of related to COVID and small businesses here in Brimfield Township. We all know the COVID numbers are going up. We're seeing a lot more cases where the fire department's on more calls. We're seeing the numbers rise at the state level. And, you know, that has a direct impact not only on the health and wellness of our citizens, but on the health and wellness of the businesses. So I would like to at least put out the idea this week and maybe officially make some movements on it next week that we name January Small Business Month here in Brimfield Township with the focus of highlighting and spotlighting each week one of our small businesses on our Business of the Month Spotlight, revamping that program, doing a Zoom interview with them, highlighting their business and getting information out. Our small businesses do a lot for us here in Brimfield Township. They contribute a lot to our community events. They make a lot of donations and they're engaged with us. And this pandemic has really hit them pretty hard too. So if this is a way that we could spotlight them, because I think January and February are going to be tough months for them. It's the holiday season now, so they're getting some business. People are out and about, but once we hit that January, I see us a lot more people kind of sheltering in place. And that's going to affect our small businesses. And so I'd like to name January Small Business Month here in Brimfield Township with a focus of getting information out about those small businesses and even working with the Brimfield Chamber of Commerce. So I want to toss that idea out. I think it could be something that could be really beneficial for our small businesses. And I'm going to put together some additional plans on that, but I've already talked to Brimfield Liquidators and they are interested in doing a YouTube video with us, kind of spotlighting who they are and getting their business out there for the month of January. So revising that program.
Well, you know, on our digital sign, we can't put any businesses on our digital sign.
Right.
So
right.
What kind of a, you know, are we stepping out of bounds here by the township actually highlighting a business?
No, you're not stepping out of bounds. I mean, it's just, the resolution was on the sign itself, but I think it's our job as a township to help promote business, because it helps our JEDs. And, and I just, being familiar with the restaurant business, I see how many people are going under. And, the National Restaurant Association said the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to see one of the largest spikes in businesses closing. So I think anything we can do to preserve the few businesses we have, I mean, not few, but, there are less and less businesses, and a lot of people don't realize how close these businesses are to closing. So,
Right.
So I think, Nick, that's a great idea. I mean, anything we can do to help promote the community. Because a lot of these businesses
Right. Well,
are run by people in our community.
right. And we were doing those business spotlights before on a monthly basis, but COVID hit. So knocking on doors and meeting people was just not in the best interest of the community. But, now we have Zoom. We can set these up. We can do them virtually. And I think it's a great way that we can highlight businesses and just bring attention to what's here and how we can kind of give back to those that gave to us so much over the past years.
Right.
All right, so I'll bring some information forward on our last meeting of 2020 on that, but I wanted to put that out there, and then and I'll work with the Brimfield Chamber to get that process started. All right, so that was under announcements. We have no meeting guests scheduled today. We need a motion to accept our agenda.
I have reviewed the agenda, and I'm going to make a motion. We go ahead and accept it.
Second.
Hey, all
All
those
right,
in
is there
favor?
any changes? Oh, any changes?
I had one minor change on mine. It's not a big deal, but the Parks Advisory Committee meeting should be January 21st, not the 27th. But that was all.
Okay. All right, hearing no other changes, roll call vote with the minor amendment.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right. Purchase orders. I reviewed the purchase orders. I'll make a motion to approve those.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
I'm going to have to abstain. I wasn't able to get up there.
okay, Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
Warrants. I reviewed and signed the warrants. And also I'll make a motion to approve those.
Second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Abstain.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right. Public comments or questions. Sue, we'll have you go to you first. Do you have any public comments or questions that you want to present today?
No.
All right. Mike, any public comments or questions?
Yeah, I did. I heard from Chick Sprague, and he just wanted me to let everybody know how much he enjoyed the Christmas drive-through. He said he never saw the town park look that good. And before I forget, Cassie, my wife and I went around. They had the Christmas lights around churches and stuff in Stowe yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
For next year, you might want to consider at the Stowe Glens. They actually, I'll have to get you the video, but they had a live nativity scene. They had
Really?
a camel, lambs, mule, and something else. A cow. They had a cow, and they had one very shivering Mary sitting in the manger. So it was very nice.
Oh, that's very interesting. That might be
Yep.
a Parks Committee task next year.
I
I'll have
just-
them do it.
And I would suggest all of you, if you get a chance and you're bored, drive over to the Stowe Town Hall and look at the lighting display they have there. Freaking amazing. And it's, what's so neat about that is they sell it as a walkthrough. So you had all these people socially distancing, walking around, taking pictures and everything. So if you guys get a chance, take a drive over there and look at it. Just some thoughts for next year. That's all I got.
All All right. I have no other public comments or questions. So we'll move into safety concerns. Any safety concerns today? All right, hearing none, we'll move into the business portion of our meeting and turn the floor over to the police department. Roy, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Nick. Just a couple of items for you this morning. Two real brief follow-up pieces. I know the board's already aware of these, but just a brief follow-up. We've got the Shop with a Cop neighborhood caravan going on this Saturday. And as a follow-up on our applicant process for a police officer position, we are still in the background phase. I do have a candidate scheduled for a polygraph this week. So with that, I may have a name for you for the December 30th meeting. I emphasize the word may. We'll see how a couple other pieces shake out, but there's a possibility I may be able to bring a candidate name to you for the December 30th meeting. The main item I have for you this morning is the request for a proposal for towing services. I was able to follow back up with Mark Guidetti, and he had made a couple of modest changes to the draft that I had sent him. So what I provided you today is kind of the culmination of my discussion with Mark as far as putting that RFP out for companies that may be interested in doing towing services for Brimfield Township. So you have a copy of that document that I included with part of my report, and also a copy of a draft resolution that Mr. Guidetti put together as well. So that would be something, if we move forward today, would be posted on the township's website, and then with the due date for people interested in submitting their proposal for that, their due date would be January 16th. And then with a follow-on date of March 1st to go into effect with, potentially going into effect with the provider. So that's the main item I have for you this morning, and can answer any follow-up questions you might have on that.
All right. Well, so we can.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so we could discuss it. I can. I'll make a motion for this resolution, and John, we can. It's in the Dropbox, or I can email it to you too, so you can just.
Well, it's in a
paste it
PDF in the
there.
Dropbox. Can you email it to me in the Word document?
Yeah, I have it in Word document in front of me right now.
Okay.
I uploaded it as a Word doc, yeah.
Is it? Or did I just print off the wrong one out of the?
Should be a Word doc for both those items.
Mine's in a PDF.
Well, I apologize, I may have misspoken.
No, that's okay. If you can just
Nope.
shoot it over to
I
the Word
show
so I
them
can
both.
fill the blanks.
Yeah, so I show them both here, but that's fine. Yeah, we can get it to you.
Great.
All right, so I will make a motion for resolution authorizing the township to advertise and request proposals for for certain vehicle towing and storage services.
I'll second that.
All right. So you said that Mark went through this whole piece and updated everything, correct, Roy?
Yeah, we had an initial draft that he just made a few modifications to, but most of that was left intact. And but the short answer is that's correct. That was a follow-up from my discussions with Mark.
Okay. And do we have to get a certain number of submissions, or just whoever submits, then we pick from them? How did he get through that?
No designated number is going to trigger anything on this. We may get one proposal, we may get five, we may get none. Let's wait and see what comes in. But Mark didn't attach any kind of a, you must get X number in order to move forward. There was no specific number attached.
Okay. Do you know if there's any interest in this at this time, or this is going to be kind of, we'll see what we get?
I know there's some interest, so I know we're going to definitely get a couple of proposals for sure, is what I would anticipate. Above and beyond that, I don't know. We'll certainly make it aware to area tow providers that this is there, and if they want to submit for this, it'll be available to them. So I think there'll be some interest, but beyond that, I'd be speculating, Nick.
Okay. Well, at least we have some base interest, because I really would like to get this off our plate if we could, and outsource it.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions on this request for proposal?
Nope.
Okay. Roll call.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue. Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
And that's all I have for you this morning, unless you have any other questions for me.
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Anybody
thank
else?
you.
Thanks, Roy.
Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Craig, the floor is yours for the fire department.
Okay, just one update for the fire department. The Santa on the fire truck gift delivery will still happen. this Saturday and Sunday. The hours again will be on Saturday 12:30, or I'm sorry, 10 to 3, and on Sunday from 12:30 to 3. That we'll be able to get the gifts delivered at that point. I'll repost again out to the public. The gift cutoff was yesterday at 4 p.m. So I'm going to start making lists on that. With that being said, just a follow-up piece. We all have probably heard about the fireman that died in Suffield. That will be Saturday and Sunday. So we will be busy delivering gifts. We'll be helping with Suffield on some of their stuff. So we will be busy this weekend. The reason I say that is if you see a squad from Brimfield down in Suffield, that's the reason. So, or fire trucks, whatever that may be when that comes about. That's all I had on fire department. I mean, maybe an update on the fire station. We're just meetings, geotechnical people are coming in, survey people are coming in, and that's all happening right now.
Wonderful.
Into administration, I guess I don't have this on the agenda, but I guess I wanted a little bit of feedback, and this is mainly probably from Mike Kostinsky. Do you like the agenda layout this way than what it was before?
It's very informative. I like it.
Is this good? Do you want
Nope.
less?
Nope, that's beautiful.
Okay, I think it gives you if you have nothing else in front of you, you know what's going on with this one.
And I like the font size. Very good.
All right.
You did that for your eyes.
I like it smaller, but I'll go with that. I just emailed you. It's not on here again. I just emailed you guys the numbers for the township. We are increasing on COVID numbers again. A jump from 225 last week to 310 plus, with outbreaks in certain nursing homes and other places throughout. So they're going up still. With that being said, I have a couple of things to discuss with the admin. We looked at the color COVID guideline resolution that we initially enacted back in October. In that status, we had certain guidelines that prompted certain things. We feel like now's the time to tweak that a little bit. I've also sent that to you guys for review. There's not many tweaks to that. Basically, it takes the admin staff and says, hey, just because it went level purple does not mean you automatically telework. It is still by the supervisor's guideline, is the gist of it, and I will send that out. With that being said, and I'll go into the next part about how we're going to separate things, but I would like to bring the admin staff back to work on a full-time basis.
So let's do this. I'd like to make a motion to adopt the new COVID-19 operation guidelines.
I'll second for discussion. I think
And that, because Craig, this is the easier way to bring them back, because now it lets the department heads, make those decisions as needed.
Right, and this is, again, I'll say this because I can. If we had office areas where we had, let's say even 5 in the same office, we'd be talking something differently. But everybody has their own separate office area, so I think we're going to be able to provide the needed precautions, and we have to keep the government running. So, again, that's where I want to go with this.
We're kind of ahead of step 3 on your list, though.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. That's going
Okay.
to be next. So
Well, that would change it in regards to where people were sitting, so it might make it easier.
Well, John, I agree with you on that, but even as it sits today, we all have our own separate offices. So we're still
That's true.
in that status. So
Okay.
if I could roll right into that one.
Well, hold on
Oh, we
one
got a
second.
motion on the floor.
Okay.
We're moving to
Is there any
adopt
other
the COVID.
questions?
Give me your motion again, Nick.
No problem. So I make a motion to adopt the updated COVID-19 operation guidelines.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Now, the one thing that Craig and I did look at when we worked on this to make some minor changes to it, we didn't want to just list everybody as essential, because this is the document that still outlines essential versus non-essential employees. If there was some other changes, if the government went into a complete shutdown out of the State House, if there was some other type of natural disaster, we still have essential versus non-essential employees, and those guidelines would then dictate how they respond. So I think it was important that we kept this document and kept that separation of essential versus non-essential.
Agree. Any other questions?
Nope. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
Okay, piggybacking on to that, with that being said, we're going to make, I would like to request to make some changes here at the admin fire department. With passing the levy, we are going to be under construction very quickly at the town hall. Also, because we are currently renting across the street, we have open offices, and we do have some changes coming up. We are going to transition, if you guys approve it, transition the Parks and Rec Department office and the front desk secretary office over to that area. What that would mean is that under construction timeline, we will basically be fire department only over here.
But Craig, I understand that, but I don't think you need a motion for this.
I didn't, well, I wasn't asking for a motion. I'm just,
This is just information. Yeah, just informational.
right, this is just information.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're not changing the town hall. We still operate the same, but I would like to, I'm going to put up some signs and guide everybody
Right.
for those situations over there.
And that's it's a good move anyhow. I mean, especially with the rise in COVID. I mean, we really shouldn't be having anyone but firefighters up in that area.
Right, and I can, you know, I can transition some sleeping quarters and separate some people and give our guys the best opportunity to separate and stay working.
And that's a great idea. I mean, just nothing against the smell of that area down there where they sleep, but I just don't feel that there's good ventilation down there. You got to make some changes.
Right, right, and then like I said, this is an opportunity, and we're going to be under construction anyways. We kind of didn't know what we were going to do. Well, this helps us push this.
Because no matter what you do, we have to provide at least the safest environment we can for our firefighters, without a doubt.
And on top of that, you know, for our Parks and Rec director, and it gets them out of here. You know, they don't have to be around us, because we're going on, every other call is COVID now. So, I mean, we're in the thick of it right now, so.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Any discussion more on that you guys want to see happen?
We were eventually going to have to do that anyway, so it's just kind of a little early. That's just fine. We have space for it, so.
Well, and again, goes back, everybody will have their own office, own separated work area. So we feel comfortable with that.
Very good.
Well, just an FYI for that, we already kind of discussed this ahead of the time, Craig, and with Brian, we're switching all the phones, all that'll, no one will know the difference. It'll all ring over here and everything will be fine.
Right.
I would post a big, God, if you could even post a poster board in the window.
What I would like to do is I'd like to put ones in the front door window. I would also like to put one at the end of the sidewalk, so people don't even get out of their cars. They see that,
That is a great idea.
Whatever that may be. Hey, fire department business only, all other business at X address.
4121 State Route 43.
4121?
Mm-hmm.
So that, you know, something to that effect. So, because that's what, not that it hurts people, but they get up to the door and then they throw their arms up. They don't even, you know, we can stop them before they even get out of their car.
Hey, while we're talking about this, what's your thoughts about maybe getting a temporary sign that says Brimfield Township temporary offices or something by the road or something?
Well, we can put it on the sign. We can put it out there on the sign. Yeah, I'm gonna look
So
into
when they're driving down 43, at least they have a sign they can immediately see.
Right.
Just a thought.
Yes, no, I don't know what that may be, but I want something. Whether that be, you know, graphic detail makes me up a couple signs, you know, something.
Yeah, all we need is something quick, easy. And with big font.
Yes. You're into this big font thing.
Well, now that I turned 52.
Right, right.
52.
All right, any other discussion on that?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so I will get a hold of Cassie and Rochelle and start making that transition.
You know,
Okay, just wanted to have a quick discussion on Brimfest location. So all this ties together. While we're under construction, I don't believe that we're going to be able to have Brimfest here. I believe there's going to be fences up and dirt and bulldozers and everything else here. My thought is that as we work with the soccer fields over there, that we get electric and water ran and transition this maybe into a Kelso Drive strip style Brimfest. So close the street down, use the soccer fields for the tents. That would be, I just want to bring up a discussion. I know it's early. So just thoughts on that.
I don't think it's too early because I sure want to keep the Brimfest going if we have the opportunity.
Right.
I mean, I like your idea of closing the road down. I don't know if the neighbors will, but.
And again, if we need to come back to here and we can have it here, great. I just don't know if we can.
Right. I mean, I think it works well. They do this in Ravenna for the balloon affair. They've been doing it for many years. They shut down the whole main drag. It's not even a side street. They shut down Main Street for basically 2 days. So
Right.
there is precedence on how they do it. It works well. And I think it just gets everybody over to that section. So I think it keeps them away from the construction, and that may become the future home of Brimfest anyways, with the expansion of the fire station, the admin building. This just gives a kind of a new location for it.
Well, and I think a lot of people said, hey, there's open areas. Well, the problem is restrooms, electric, water. Those are the hookups you need. If we can provide the restrooms, and like I said, any day I'm waiting to hear back from the excavating company to tap the electric and tap the water. If we can provide those things, it may be an option.
Right.
With that being said, I'm waiting any day to still bulldoze and do things. So I will call him again today to see what kind of timeline we're on. I mean, bulldozers can work all winter. I'm not worried about that. I just want to get a break where we can get seed down to get them reshaped.
Also, Craig, I would reach out to the health department. I know they're slammed with COVID, but they're the one who does the fair ride inspections and the food vendor inspections. Make sure that whatever we put out there, we're going to provide them with what they need to meet the requirements of the health department so that the food vendors have a proper place. I don't know if they need just a water setup, if they need a discharge location, but whatever that is, I think let's make sure we have all those pieces done correctly.
Okay, and I got a good handle on that because of when we inspect here every year, and basically any food trailers are to contain their own water. They just need provided water,
Okay.
fire extinguishment, and electric. So
Okay.
those are the typical things.
So just make sure we have enough electric capacity, right, for them to tie into for the food vendors when we run those lines.
And again, if we got a better idea, throw it out there. I just don't know of a better location and keep it in town. We can still do the parade route, and
It's a great idea. My one thought is if we can't get the electric put in fast enough, like I told you, you can always rent a generator that, like some people do, and run your lines from that. I mean, I really wouldn't want lines everywhere, but it's still a temporary, a Band-Aid.
Right. Right. It'll definitely take some effort, but I think we'll be able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think now's the time to put the electric in, because I hate for us to reshape the field, get it all seeded, then have to go in and trench to run some electric lines and tear up all that work.
Right.
So might as well do it while we have a good fresh start.
Right, I'd like to tap the water and tap an electric panel to the north end, to the south end, water to the north end, the south end, you know, and then, because eventually I want to put a pavilion in for a stage and stuff like that. Okay.
All right.
Moving on, and this is, again, just a quick discussion, talking about preserving the Brimfield Downtown Historical District. We're actually creating one. I don't know what that entails, but this is kind of Mike's thing.
Yeah, that's mine. I was talking to, you know, I just realized we are losing more and more of our historical spaces. So I did some investigation into, you know, the home that next to Alter Care and the Bowman's home, and then the home next to the Bowman's home. Those were all three historical houses. There used to be one where Sabrina's one, but that was torn down. Circle K had something. And then you jump across the street, and you know Rico's used to be the grocery store, but I think we've lost that. But then you go farther down the road, and there's that big White House. That's a big apartment. That was a very special feature, but they're looking it up for me. And then next to that, the farm, that's a very old farm. So I've been talking to the city of Kent, trying to get some help with designating an area as a historical district. And my thoughts are, I need a little more time on this. Sometimes when you get historical district designations, there's also the potential for some grants. I just don't have enough information for you, but you know, I'm not talking about making a big historical district. I'm just talking that one little corridor. You know, and if we can help the homeowners or anyone with some of these grants and encouraging them to do that, I think it would be nice. I mean, we're losing so much. And Craig, I don't know if you know where your garage is at the town hall. That used to be the Twitchell's home right there.
I do have some pictures still of that. Yeah.
And they were a very prominent family in Brimfield's history.
Well, if something's not done very quickly, I mean, the homes are getting to the point we won't have anything left.
Right. So, I mean, that's just my thought. You know, any kind of support you guys can give, I just think it might, if we can pull it off easy enough with a designation. But there's just a lot of people don't have a lot of information on this. So someone from Kent is going to call me, and because they did a small historical area. So stay tuned.
Mike, you might want to reach out to the city of Ravenna. Ravenna has a very large historical district on Main Street that they maintain.
Okay.
And they actually have a lot of guidelines in place for that. So yeah, city of Ravenna has a very large, it goes basically from where the high school used to be in downtown Ravenna all the way out to the Giant Eagle. All those houses are historical district.
Do you know who was running that?
No, I would just call up the city hall. I know it switches kind of back and forth, but they actually have a historical committee too. So if you want to paint your house, you have to go before their committee, and it has to fall into certain designations. So they have a very, very structured, large historical district there.
Okay. Well, thanks, Nick. I'll make some calls. Okay. That's what I got.
The only other thing that's not on the agenda, and you just say yes or no, do we want to talk about salary guideline or not today?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
Do we want to, or I wasn't sure how it affected with Roy's staff, or are we just going to grandfather his staff for now?
Do you want to have some discussion with them and get back to us, or what do you want to do?
John, are we good? Wait until the next meeting to approve?
We are. Yeah, I just realized that we're missing a couple people. Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not, if we make any changes, it's not going to take effect until the first pay in January, which would be like the 13th.
Okay.
And we have another pay cycle from there, or another meeting actually.
Okay, let's wait.
Right. So we could do this on I'd like to do it at the December 30th. So everybody should have that spreadsheet. Basically, there's been some staffing changes. And this is going to allow some switching of positions. And then by my figures, if we work this, we're going to be able to cut our budget by about 16%, and still maintain our operations. So, and there's no pay cuts to anybody. In fact, there might be some pay increases there, but it just stabilizes and it gets us into a pay structure. So let me work with Roy to make sure that this isn't going to affect his administrative staff. It's only administrative staff. It's no contract related things. So Roy, you and I can talk this week. And we'll go over what we're thinking about doing, and then we'll bring that up at the next meeting.
Okay.
John, are we going to be okay? Because this also would involve the job offer because the two job offers, right? Because we're going to have two job position changes. Yep. So we'll still have them kind of working under their current job titles.
They were
doing some of that extra
titles were
work.
supposed to take place in 2021 anyway.
Okay, so we still have.
Yep. Uh-huh.
All right. So then I will have that all put together in a final packet for our December 30th meeting.
Okay.
John, I sent you a text. If you could just take a look at that, and I don't know if that falls under your fiscal office. And then while
You
you're
sent me a text?
yeah, while you're looking at that,
I don't have it, Craig.
unless you didn't get it, when do we need to have inventory ready so I can let Rochelle know?
Well, it needs to be ready for that. Well, it has to be for the organizational meeting. That's when it has to be ready. So that first Monday of 21.
Okay, so I just want to, I guess it's not necessary for Rochelle, it's department heads too. We need to start getting Rochelle the information she needs for organizational.
And she's putting it all together on the nice fancy spreadsheets, right?
Yeah, that's how I would like it to go again. I don't know if, I think all departments fit under that. Maybe Roy is different, or did he use the same ones? I don't know.
Well, I think last year, Roy, didn't you do yours? You and Chris did your own over there?
Yeah, we've got an Excel
Okay.
Excel spreadsheet that we've been using year to year for that.
I know that Dave, the admin, and fire have been using the same format that we go through. Rochelle, if you want to use that as well, Chief Roy, you can. If you wanted to submit your own the same way you're doing it, that's fine as well.
Just a quick follow-up question. Are we looking to do that on Monday, January 4th? Only reason I'm asking is if we have to, I get it. I'm coming off of vacation week the week prior, and so is Captain Atkins, and that might get a little bit tight on just a follow-up.
Actually, take that back because it's the Monday after that.
The 11th?
It would be the 11th is the inventory meeting. The organizational meeting is the 4th, but it would be the week after that so the 11th is when the inventory meeting is.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I have already instructed Rochelle to send out the templates, and basically you just need to send back adds or deletes. So
Okay, that works.
it should be simple.
Craig, I did not get a text from you, so.
All right, I'll mute myself and call you here in a minute, but I'm done for this part.
All right.
Hey, John, real quick, under admin, can we go ahead and set the organizational meeting date and time and inventory meeting date and time so that we just have them on our calendars?
Yep.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to set our organizational meeting for January 4th, 2021 at 8 a.m.
Let's, we have to change our agenda first.
Okay.
Nick, your first
So,
under admin.
Yep. So I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to add organizational meeting and inventory meeting.
Okay. I need a second
for that.
I'll second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes,
Okay.
What day is the
Okay.
4th?
It's a
John?
Monday.
It's a Monday.
Okay. At 8 a.m.
Does that work if we just do it 8 a.m.? Yeah,
Yep.
just pop. I mean, it should only take a couple minutes. Pop online.
Okay.
All right. So I'll make that motion to set it for Monday, January 4th at 8 a.m. organizational meeting.
I'll second.
Need a second?
I'll
Hey,
second.
Mike's.
Roll call.
Are we going to just do them both at the same time? You want to
Yeah, if you're okay with that
organizational?
motion.
Yeah, we'll just put them in the same. Move to set the organizational
And then
meeting.
inventory. The inventory meeting will be Monday, January 11th at 8 a.m.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes,
Okay, motion passed.
Small follow-up
Okay.
to that, because we're doing Zoom meetings, do you guys want hard copies of inventory or electronic copies?
Electronic.
I just need an electronic.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well.
All right.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah,
usually-
that's going to be our first time as well doing an organizational meeting online.
We just usually make up folders and everything, but if you guys don't care, we'll do it.
So are you going to get inventories over to everybody before the 11th? Because we're going to have to
Yeah.
do that virtually as well.
I'm tasking Rochelle with getting out the previous inventories, having department heads add or delete, and then she will reorganize the new ones.
But then we need a copy sent out to everybody for the 11th meeting.
Right. So be done in new copies by the 11th.
All right. Roy, are you able to do that as well?
Have ours ready for that?
Well, are you able to make sure we all get a copy since we're going to do it virtual on the
Yeah,
11th?
I'll just make sure ours is updated, and then we'll make sure that gets disseminated out to whoever needs that. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, thanks.
you got it.
Craig, don't forget too, Rochelle's going to need to put together the proposed meeting calendar. That's a piece that Jendi used to take care of. So I just don't want that to fall through the gaps. We'll need that for the organizational meeting of what our meetings are going to look like. And then holidays, those sorts of things
And I know,
for 2021.
and I know we're not to that point of setting the meetings, but do we anticipate we follow the same guideline of 8 a.m. on Wednesdays?
I would
Yeah.
anticipate that it's going to continue that way.
Because we have to set it at the organizational meeting.
I know, but just so if she gets dates together, is that what we're going to try to do again for this year? Probably.
I'm better with the morning meetings. I don't know about everybody else.
I am too.
At 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
5.
So yeah, I would assume, right, Nick and Sue, that we still want to keep the morning meetings at 8?
yes.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's either got to be early morning like this or preferably later in the afternoon, which would be like a 5 or 6 p.m. So just because it helps me balance the work schedule outside of
I'm
here.
in bed by 7, so.
Okay.
You only need 4 hours of sleep.
Well, that coffee looks good. My wife won't bring me any.
And I think that's all I had. Sorry for being so long-winded on that.
Esther, I would love a cup of coffee. Nick could use a refill also.
All right. All right, so nothing other under admin, so we will turn it over to zoning. Mike Ladd, the floor is yours.
Thanks. So a virtual Board of Zoning Appeals hearing is tonight, 7 o'clock. The next zoning commission meeting is January 14th at 7 p.m. We are also having a virtual public hearing for the proposed amendments in January. That's also the 14th at 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Comprehensive land use plan, we're still working on the final draft with Todd. GDI, I spoke with Craig, and this is for the township signs. And when their excavator comes out, they're going to go out and stake all the signs in the location.
Please.
Dave and I, as well as Mike Collins, are going out to verify the locations once the staking is completed. And Dave has spoken with Mike Collins about this as well, and he's willing to come and do this for us. In our permit fee report, total fees as of yesterday exceeded all our years prior at $150,146. So even with COVID, we had a record year for permits. We will be getting in January some of the board members that their terms expired on both zoning commission and BZA. And I believe they still have to go through background checks when getting reappointed. Is that correct?
Yes, they have to do the background check. So you need to the way it works is you need to figure out who you want to bring forward. If you're going to look at applications or if you just keep the same members on, bring forward your suggestions to the board. The board will approve them conditionally based upon a background investigation. At that point, once they have that conditional approval, then they'll go in for their background.
Okay. I'll bring that to the next meeting then.
Okay.
Okay, that concludes.
Quick question on the GDI signs. How close are we to getting stuff staked out and moving forward with that?
Well, last I talked to Craig, we were trying to get it in by the end of last week. But there's a couple things that happened. So I'm hoping this week sometime getting them somewhat staked. So they don't have to be, you know, precise like a surveyor would, but we want to get the layout of the sign staked out for the foundations. That way Mike Collins could go out there, we could snap pictures of it and then get his approval by writing, you know, either in an email or a formal letter. So.
Then do we need to get ODOT's approval after we do that also?
Well, Mike will do that. So the two of the locations are his responsibility. And then the other two that would be ODOT's, he will reach out and send as our engineer a letter showing the locations and asking for approval. Okay.
Perfect.
I just, Mike and Sue, I was a little concerned because I understand nobody from Brimfield made it to the JED meeting yesterday.
That's not true. I was there.
Okay. You were there? Well, that's good. I was just afraid that nobody had showed up.
But there was 2 other people from Brimfield that was there also, and they voted yesterday of bringing me on board January the 1st.
I thought we already made that change.
Well, they couldn't do anything until your term was up.
Well, remember you took over my term.
No, I didn't. Your term ended December 31st of this year. And they couldn't let me come on until your term had expired.
No, that's not how it was. I know we changed it.
Well, that's what I was told.
If somebody can't make it, somebody has to go because I guess they notified you, so they knew that we made the change. And we're not going to argue about it because if I had been there, knowing I was there, I would have been there. You know, when we only have 1 meeting a year, one of us has to go. And regardless of that, we have an issue that's going to come up, and somehow we have to have it straightened out. Talmadge has increased their JED, their income tax, to 2.25%. Now, in 2 years, our JED is going to mature. Once that JED matures, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure everything has to be changed. All taxes have to remain the same in the city. So that means theoretically that Brimfield would have to be charging 2.25% in the JED. Now, the way it's written up is that that extra 2.25% is Talmadge was earmarked for only police and fire. Now, does that mean they're going to keep the 0.25%? But if that's the case, that 1/4%, we should get half of that 1/4%. And since it's for police and fire, that money should be directed towards police and fire and ours. So I'm not sure. Somehow we have to get clarification on this. Now, Al Schrader put it together, but Al Schrader, nothing against him. I mean, he's sort of out of the business. And John, correct me if I'm wrong, but whenever we get a bill from Al Schrader, it's definitely a bill.
It's very expensive. Yes.
Right. So, you know, whether I get reelected or not, this is something that should be on everyone's radar. You know, because remember, Talmadge is getting almost, what is it, over $800,000 a year?
Yeah, it's more than that. It's pushing $1 million.
And part of the JED agreement was that they were to assist us. So basically right now, they're just taking all this money and doing nothing. They're using it for them. But I mean, I know the benefit is at least we have Talmadge to collect this JED, but I wish we could work something out because I mean, our safety forces are pushed to the limits. So just some food for thought, and I hope we're clear now with the, I have no problem going back on the JED board. I understand, Sue, you're busy with the food cupboard. Whatever you want, just let me know.
Well, the lady from the board called me yesterday. And so that's where I got my information from that I shared with you, was from her.
Because I think at the organizational meeting, you might want to recheck that, but I think at that last organizational meeting, I got off the board and we turned it over to you.
We did make a change.
Yep, I knew we did.
What they had on the agenda yesterday was there was 2 motions for the board. They had an appointment of Sue Fields to the Board of Directors as the Township Representative, replacing Mike Kostensky for the remainder of his term ending December 31st, 2020. And then they had one more that said appointment of Sue Fields to the Board of Directors as the Township Representative for a term January 1st, 2021 and ending December 31st, 2024, which was approved yesterday.
Well, it was definitely messed up because they had already taken my name off. I wasn't even notified about a meeting.
Yeah, they had a motion on there to have Sue, finish out the 2020 term.
Mike Kostensky, I had to step out for a second. Are we talking about the Talmadge JED meeting?
Yeah.
The one that I attended last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did not notify me either about a meeting.
Yeah. We just got to get our game together.
Well, that's a shame because that involves us who should be notified.
Right. They're giving them $800,000.
Right.
I was under the impression that Mike Ladd and Sue were the ones going. Is that correct?
That's
I
what
attended, yes.
Okay.
it's in the minutes. I guarantee it's in the minutes.
Yeah, but I was thinking from Craig's perspective, I think Mike was taking your spot. Mike Ladd was, Craig. So I think he was the township representative and then Sue was the trustee.
I guess whoever's wrong, it doesn't matter. Let's just make sure we got to have somebody there. Or,
Yeah.
part of their job, Mike, is to help you with their zoning if you need anything.
Right.
I really wish we could work something out with them helping with police and fire, but it seems like it's a challenge to get anything working between everybody. I don't know. You guys know Talmadge better than I do when it comes to fire and police, And I know asking them to give us money for a cop isn't going to go anywhere. I've already been through that road. Craig, you were with me.
Yeah. You know the answers we got last year.
Yep. If we want to get out of the JED, get out of the JED.
Right.
So speaking of the JED in Talmadge, is there any updates, Mike Ladd, on that project? They're doing that housing project. Are they widening the road up there, and how is that going to impact into our section of Talmadge Road?
Yeah, so they are. There's a whole plan that's coming out that will be worked on throughout 2021, and it's an AMETS funded plan. So the engineer Marazzi from the county was our representative from Brimfield, but that was a joint application from Portage County and Talmadge to the AMETS board, which it got funded for lighting, which is the street signalization, as well as widening. And that's to go hand in hand with the project on I-76 interchange that was funded by AMETS as well. But that is the 100.
So it's going to be widened. So
All
it's going
the
to
way?
widen from 76 all the way into Talmadge, or is there going to be a section where it bottlenecks down and opens back up?
There's a small section that Mayor Klein and myself are bringing up to Marazzi because he's got control over that portion of the road. We want to make sure that ODOT, when they're doing I-76 plans, has that fully widened out. Otherwise, we're going to have a bottleneck, like you said. That is still.
There is going to be that bottleneck because Klein's they're going to build from the farm all the way up. And then it's that area in front of those homes that were just raised. That's going to be the bottleneck. So I hope Mickey Marazzi's on this.
Yeah, because this was a joint effort. I mean, at any point in time, this project still could be extended from AMETS as far as I'm my understanding. So if there's an issue with traffic or traffic numbers with the consulting engineer, that needs to be addressed. And we brought that up at the JED yesterday and discussed it, as well as the left turn signal coming out of Maple Crest. Which you
Yeah,
did
is there
talk-
any update on that turn signal?
Yeah.
Because I'm still hearing a lot of
I
complaints.
heard from Rich Cost and Lemon that they are going forward at their own expense to do that.
Okay. What's time frame on it? Any ETA?
Yeah, I mean, at the one meeting he was at, he said within the next 6 months, he should have everything activated and approved. So,
It's gonna take 6 months to activate that light?
6 months to get approval and activation. He believes that everything should be approved, and he's got to coordinate between the two projects. So, both
Wow.
are funded federally.
Wow. That's all I can say.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were under the assumption and told that it was gonna be activated 2 or 3 months ago. They said it was gonna take about 1 month to get it turned on because we had high enough traffic count, enough near misses there, enough
Right.
feedback from the police department.
I could
Now we're 3 months into that. Now we got another 6 months. We're gonna be a year behind on that activation.
find out and reach out to Rich Costin this morning and then send an email to you, letting you know the date, see where it stands.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to hold up that left turn signal just because they have another construction project going that they're, that's more
Right.
priority. We need to button up what we're doing here at Brimfield first. So if we can
Right.
get that left turn signal.
Thanks, Nick. I know you totally understand how government can get bogged down sometimes. It is.
Yeah, it just gets buried in the layers, and then before we know it, we forget about it.
This is very important for our residents. It shouldn't have to take 9 months to get some kind of resolution on this.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that whole AMETS funding, all of the federal money going through there. It's a job in itself. I think it's been 3 or 3.5 years in process now. So it takes some time, especially with the federal funds.
Right. Yeah. I just think from a safety issue, that turn signal was part of that Maple Crest deal, and it's a safety and health issue. So I'd like to see them push forward on that faster.
I'll send an email. I'll copy you on it this morning to Rich.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Also, the last thing I have for zoning, any update on that Hilltop Drive, that house over on Hilltop I called you about?
Yeah, we'll be sending letters out. I talked to Brett. I'll be sending a letter and then he'll follow up with the letter.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, I did notice some changes in one of those homes, by Alter Care.
Yes.
It's looking better.
Yeah, the 1435, and I didn't get copied on the email, but I did talk to Nick, and he said that he's been trying to reach out to the building department to get some kind of a reply on what he's to do next. He's willing to comply, but he hasn't had any luck with the building department, from my understanding.
Well, I did notice he made the exterior structurally sound again.
Yeah.
And he has been putting some effort, which is nice to see.
Yeah, and that's good. I mean, I'm glad, you have no trouble giving the extension as long as they start doing the work. I do have some coming in 2021 that we're going to have to allocate some money for. We still have that one on Congress Lake. It couldn't be seen this summer. You couldn't see it from the road, but once the leaves dropped, you could see it again. And we did do the search warrants on that already. And then the other one that was in probate on Howe Road, which had the fire originally, their time has now expired. I'm going to reach out to their attorney, and then we'll see what he's requesting next. But they have not reached out to me and said, hey, it's sold, or hey, somebody's renovating it, so we're going to have to go forward and knock it down.
Okay.
But we did the old golf course, or the golf pro over on 43. He took down the house that I requested without any issues. So.
Have you heard anything? Is any indication what might happen there?
No, he didn't at all. He just he immediately, when he got the letter from me, he called and had the house and garage, everything demoed. So.
Anything on
So on that,
nursing home, Mike?
No, they still are approved. We're waiting for final plans. So they have their approvals in, they paid for approvals and the extension of approvals, and we're just waiting to hear when they're gonna go.
So Mike Ladd, I just emailed you 2 emails from Hankins about that Talmadge Road.
Okay.
He made a request to Portage County on November 4th for information about what needed to be done to make it safe or structurally sound. And then he made another request to them on December 8th and has still not heard back from them. So he's made several attempts per our request to work with the Portage County, and he's not receiving any feedback. So you should have both of those emails. They are in writing and date stamped.
Okay, I'm gonna forward them off to the building official and ask for some kind of, resolution with this, whether I have to meet with them out there as well as fire. But we'd like to see those issues resolved. So, and if the guy's willing to do them, I don't know why anybody would drag their feet on it, so.
Yeah, I mean, he's making good faith attempts. It ties our hands to be able to do much if he's truly trying, but he's not getting any
Right.
response from the county. So I
Right.
think we need to make a good faith effort too.
Right, good.
Correct.
All right, anything else for zoning? All right, if not, thank you. Dave, the floor is yours for road.
Morning. Just want to let everybody know we got a 200 ton of salt in last week, getting ready for this next big hoof storm. We've been fixing potholes, trimming back trees from road signs and stuff, that way they're more visible. We cleaned up all the trees that were cut off in the summer on Sherman Road. We finished cutting them down to the ground. That way that's all cleaned up. We sent our final paperwork in for the OPWC grant. So now we're just sitting back waiting we got to wait and see where it falls. Actually, we're in pretty good shape there, so we should be all right for the Howe Road project. The county's still looking into the 18 and Sandy Lake Road. They're still doing a study. They just got their, did another vehicle count and stuff like that. So they're still working on what they're going to propose. It looks like they're mainly going to do a bunch more signage, update signage and stuff like that, put bigger signs up, that kind of a thing. But until they get their final review, that's all I got for you on that. I have a change order I need all the trustees to sign for the Sterling Green Chapman Farm Road Surface Project. That's the final stages. It actually is a decrease on what we agreed on the price. So I need to have everybody sign it. I don't know how you want to do this. If you want me to run around and catch everybody or leave it at John's office or that kind of thing.
Whatever is easier for you. I got 2 days off, so.
Probably have it here, just so, because that's where it's gonna end up anyway. You guys want to do that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
'Cause after,
Are you good with that?
yeah, I'm good.
All right, Sue. Is Sue gone?
Hello?
Oh, she's muted.
I don't even see her out there anymore.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, stop by your office and sign
Okay.
it.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take it down there and drop it off after the meeting today. If that's
Okay.
all right, John.
Yep, that's great.
You want it at your office? Your
Yeah,
office?
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, just to let everybody know, I don't know what's gonna happen with this storm today. It's coming in as snow, rain, snow. My plans are we're gonna work on it till probably about 8 o'clock tonight, and then we'll shut down being first thing in the morning again, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to clean up and have it ready for in the morning.
You think we're gonna get that much?
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I was
I mean-
watching this.
They've been all over the board with this one. Just all depends on how hard the east winds push. So it's one of them. I'm planning on up to the 6-inch mark, 3 to 6 inches. So I'd rather plan heavy and be short, you know what I mean? And then think it's just going to be nothing, and then we get hammered hard. So we're just setting up for that right now. I mean, we've been doing other projects, but other than that, to go back onto the street signs, I might have a little bit of time frame with getting Mike Collins out. The county did go to a split shift where half the people are in their offices and half are out. The same with their road department and everything. They split shifted everything. So it may take a little bit of time to get people up to speed on that. Just to let you know.
Okay. Is it split shift because of winter weather, or is that a COVID related change?
They had a couple COVID things, I guess, or, you know, that, so they split. I mean, they have 20 plow routes they have to keep up with, so they're just protecting themselves. You know what I mean?
Okay.
They're just making sure they can at least do half their plow routes if something would happen. So, but everybody is on, like a storm like today, if it would hit, everybody could get called in as long as all their routes are covered. But it's more like a little bit of a protection because of the COVID, to make sure the snow plows can run.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all my report.
Wow, thanks, Dave.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Parks and Rec, we will move on to you. Floor is Cassie's.
All right. Hi, everybody. I just have a few informational pieces for you today. Our Christmas events, the Township Lighting Contest winners were announced on the 6th. The first place house was the house number 5 on Cypress Circle. Second place was house number 6 on Howe Road. And third place was house number 8 on Robert's Journey. Thank you to everybody who's watching, who participated. We got a lot of great feedback on that. And I definitely plan on doing that again next year. The overall contest between us and Rootstown, Suffield, Talmadge, and Atwater is happening right now. And all that information can be found on our Facebook page or on our website. The next episode of the Backyard Brimfield web series will air this Saturday, the 19th. The first meeting of the Parks Advisory Committee, I've received all the background checks for all the members. We had a slight delay due to the sheriff's office being closed, but they were able to get all of those in. And the first meeting will take place virtually on Thursday, January 21st at 6:30 p.m.
Would we be able to watch?
Oh, yeah. If anybody wants to attend, just let me know. I'm going to reach out to Andrea Ireland from the National Park Service to see if she would also like to be in attendance, because she's been kind of helping me with this process.
And so we would, even additional trustees could watch it because there will be no voting by us. We're just informational.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be great, actually. I'd love all of your input.
Yeah, if you could mark me down, I'd like to attend if I can.
Sure.
Nick,
Send me the invite also. Yes.
And Sue, I don't know if Sue would like to.
Yeah, you can add me there.
Sure.
Yes. Is that 6 or 6:30?
6:30.
6:30. Okay.
And then the last item is I'll be using the last of my vacation this last week of December. So I wrote that I'll be out the 28th through the 4th. I mean, technically that would be the 25th, but I'll be actually using vacation days from the 28th until I return on the 4th.
Okay.
And that's all.
All right. It's kind of parks, kind of admin, but just a reminder to everybody too, on Christmas Eve, we are doing the bell ringing. So just trying to get that out there to everybody. At 6 p.m., we're encouraging all Brimfield residents to go outside to help us bring Santa Claus to town. So I will actually go live on Facebook that night. We're encouraging all residents to go out on their front porches and ring bells from 6:30 to 6:32. So just a 2-minute thing, but it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we hear noise across all of the township. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nick, if you live far off the road, are we allowed to honk our horns?
Yep, honk your horns, do whatever you need to do. So I think it should be fun. Hopefully we'll get a lot of noise going. Sure, I'll get a complaint somewhere about it, but.
That doesn't mean shooting your shotgun?
Probably not.
Just asking.
Roy's giving us the look, so the answer is no.
Asking for a friend.
So, but yeah, no, I think it's going to be a really fun event. I've seen a lot of movement on that Facebook post also. So just remind everybody, I think it's just going to be a fun way to end 2020. If we end 2020 on a good note, maybe 2021 will be even better, and we can get through this craziness.
Amen.
No action under cemetery unless, Sue, do you have any updates under cemetery that you want to give today?
No.
Okay. Fiscal office, John, floor is yours. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I just have a statement. It's not an action item. I just wanted to announce Nancy Rod's retirement as of 12/31 of 2020. She has worked for Brimfield Township for 15 years. She has been a vital piece of our fiscal office for that time. She's been a huge help to me in that time. And I guess I just wanted to announce that she is, her final day was officially is the 31st of December for her retirement. So I wanted to say thank you live to her so she knew if she was listening, but she'll be missed. So.
Yeah, she helped a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, she was a big part of our team here. She was a big part of the community. She will be missed, but I hope she enjoys her retirement. It is well deserved, and we thank her for her continued years of service here in the township. She had a big impact on getting us to where we are today, so we thank her.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say this, reiterate the same thing. I've been here. Nancy was here when I started, and it's been a huge, vital piece to me and my success, moving forward and, to our fire station and things like that. She's just been amazing. So we're going to miss her.
Okay, that's all I had.
All right. Anything for the good of the order? All right, hearing none, need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I will make that motion then.
Dave, don't leave.
Okay, I will second.
Okay. All those in favor of adjourning at 9:12 a.m. Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
we are out.